Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Nothing to See Here podcast. Hi, it's Frankie.
It's Hannah.
I'm eating waffles.
We're a professional podcast, if nothing else.
Yeah. If you know what? Sometimes you need some waffles.
I guess that's true.
Do people not eat waffles?
I eat waffles. I don't know if I ever said I need a waffle.
Really? You've never had like the need for waffly goodness?
No, I wouldn't have ever put it that way. So, no.
Twice a year I get that way. And the only reason I don't is because I do not want to get the waffle iron out.
Oh, well,
Twice
part
a
of the
year.
thing. Yeah, I feel like it happens for me way more than that.
Like specific
Well,
times
twice.
every year or just randomly twice a
No,
year?
just like, well, twice a year is when I get like a very strong craving for them, and I decide it's worth it to get the waffle iron down. I should have phrased
Oh.
it that way, first of
Oh,
all.
yeah. I thought you were just denying yourself waffles twice a year.
No. I probably want waffles at least once a month, but I don't want to have to get the waffle iron. So
That's fair. Whenever we lived at Seton Hill, they had the Belgian waffle maker.
yeah,
Make your own Belgian waffle. Oh man, that was the shit.
They sure
I
did
miss
have that
those.
every Sunday.
It was delicious. You could actually, if you were close with the cafeteria staff, you could have them make you a waffle not on a Sunday.
if you ask really nicely to the one person who liked you.
Mm-hmm.
And did you do that, Hannah or Amanda?
Yeah, a couple of times. It was Darren. Yeah, he's dope. You know, as we were hanging out with our friend Katie yesterday, I got to thinking we have a lot of fun Seton Hill stories that I feel like we should talk about one of these days.
You just want to do a college story episode.
Yeah, I think that would be really fun.
That can be one
See,
of your
now you
episodes.
are asking me to sit here and remember things.
We were doing it yesterday quite easily.
Yes, but they were coming to me because you jogged my memory. You're asking me to just sit there and think about what happened, and I don't remember unless my memory is jogged.
Well, then we'll jog your memory.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. I'm not the only one here. Frankie also has a brain.
Oh, that's debatable. Some days.
So, so Scooby-Doo?
Yeah, let's Scooby it up. Let's Scooby-Doo it up.
All right, talk, Frankie, while I eat my waffle.
We're finally back on a TV show for Scooby-Doo. It's been a while. It's What's New Scooby-Doo. This is the version I grew up with. So I think it's the one we all grew up with.
It's the
Yes.
hands down the best theme song.
The fucking theme slaps.
So good.
So the What's New Scooby-Doo premiered on September 14th, 2002 and ran new episodes only until July 21st, 2006.
It feels like so much longer than that.
Because they aired reruns all the time. Like constantly, it felt like. But this was the first TV show for Scooby-Doo in over a decade, since Papa Named Scooby-Doo had ended in 1991. It was the first show to be produced by Warner Brothers Animation, since Hanna-Barbera had closed in the interim, and it was the first Scooby-Doo show to be made since William Hanna's death in 2001. This is also the first time for some voice actors of characters. Frank Welker is voicing Scooby-Doo. Gray DeLisle is voicing Daphne. I don't think that's her first time, but it's her first time in a show. And Mindy Cohn is voicing Velma. We'll talk more about the cast when I get there. This is the final series where Casey Kasem voiced Shaggy. And the opening theme, as Amanda talked about, which slaps hard, was performed by Simple Plan.
Simple Plan. Yeah, Simple Plan. I said Plan. Love Simple Plan.
I'm glad you called
I went
yourself
to go
out on
see
it because
them
I
in
was going
concert.
to.
Yeah, I definitely did. I went to go see them in concert once when I was tinier. And
Did they perform the What's New Scooby-Doo theme song?
I don't think they did, but they did perform Vacation from the Mary-Kate and Ashley movie, New York Minute, which, Frankie, I think we might need to watch.
We
It
don't
has
have
Jared
to.
Padalecki in it.
That doesn't make it any better. Jared Padalecki's not a great
I think it does.
actor.
Idea for a
Yeah.
new series. We watch every Mary-Kate and Ashley
No,
film.
no, I
No,
refuse.
no, I thought we already agreed on the Gordon Ramsay thing.
We'll talk about it.
We'll talk about it when the Scooby Doo ends. And Netflix, like we've talked about this, Netflix has started filming their new show, so Scooby Doo might keep going while we're doing this and adding stuff we'll have
Have
to talk
they
about.
they have officially started filming the new Scooby-Doo.
Yeah, I think so. I think that's what I read. They've officially done something. Like they've started work on it officially.
I feel like I heard the official like plot summary or like the idea.
I know the idea is like an origin story.
Yeah, it's restarting the canon.
Yeah. So the entire voice cast, as we mentioned, some Frank Welker, like I said, voices Scooby for the first time. He also is back as Fred, so he's doing double duty for this show. He was not the first choice for Scooby, however. Originally, they wanted Marty Grabstein to voice Scooby, but Grabstein was a little too busy voicing Courage the Cowardly Dog. Casey Kasem voices Shaggy, Gray DeLisso voices Daphne, she's back. Mindy Cohn voices Velma. She will be with us for a while. She is the voice of Velma until 2015. She is best known before this as Natalie Green from The Facts of Life. We also have in this show, unlike the original Scooby-Doo, recurring characters. I don't think we see any of them in the 2 episodes we chose to watch, but they do exist.
I mean,
What's new Scooby-Doo?
you could say Kiss is a reoccurring character.
They show up in another movie that's not part of the canon, like the timeline.
But they do come back.
They do. We have Elliot Binber, a competitive kid who often loses to Velma in contests, voiced by Kimberly Brooks, Luna of the Hex Girls. Melbourne O'Reilly, an Australian adventurer who is one of Fred's heroes, voiced by Stephen Bloom, known as the voice of Spike Spiegel from Cowboy Bebop. J.J. Hakamoto, a famous director. What?
Right? Talk about
All
anime
right.
crushes.
Okay. J.J. Hakamoto, a famous director, voiced by Brian Tochi, the voice of Leonardo in the first 3 live-action Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movies. Gibby Norton, a computer nerd who has a crush on Velma who hates the sight of him. He often turns out to be the villain to impress Velma, but never succeeds. Gibby is modeled after his voice actor, Eddie DeZean. I think he's been on Scooby-Doo before, but he's known as Mandark from Dexter's Lab and the know-it-all kid from the Polar Express.
The know-it-all kid from the Polar Express. What was I gonna say? When you said Gibby, for some reason, all I could picture was Gibby from iCarly.
Yeah, because that's the most iconic Gibby.
It is. It really is.
We have Burr Batson, a racer who drives a monster truck, voiced by James Arnold Taylor, who voices Ratchet in the Ratchet and Clank games, and Johnny Test.
Yeah, he does, Ratchet and Clank. I don't care so much about Johnny Test.
I know. Professor Laszlo Ostwald, an inventor that meets the gang. First, he's voiced by Dave Foley, a very well-known comedian who's done a ton of shit. Later, Dave Foley leaves, and he's voiced by James Arnold Taylor, so James Arnold Taylor does double duty. The Hex Girls show back up in
Hell yeah, they do.
With all the original voice actors, Jennifer Hale as Thorne, Jane Wiedlin as Dusk, and Kimberly Brooks as Luna. Mr. B, the owner of the Secret Six puppies, voiced by Jeff Bennett, Johnny who is the voice of Johnny Bravo. Chrissy, a golden retriever who is the Secret Six's mother. She doesn't talk, so there's no voice actors.
Then why did you
And
bring her
then,
up?
because she's a reoccurring character. This is just all the reoccurring characters.
Okay. Okay.
And then we have the Secret Six puppies. 6 very well-trained, prize-winning golden retriever puppies who have a knack for getting into trouble. Maze and Knox, who are both voiced by Jennifer Hale. Jingle, voiced by Colleen O'Shaughnessy, who is known as Jazz from Danny Phantom. Flax, voiced by D. Bradley Baker, who's, if you could think of a show that has voice acting, he's been in it. Probably. Bling Bling is voiced by Greg DeLisle, and 14 Carat is voiced by Frank Welker. Frank Welker doing triple duty some episodes. Damn. This show also had a bunch of celebrity guest stars on episodes. Let's talk about them. We have, in our first episode tonight, we have a celebrity, Chris Klug. He's an Olympic snowboarder. He has a bronze medal from the Olympics. Lindsay Pagano, a singer that was signed with Warner Brothers Records. I wonder why she got on this show. Mike Piazza, a Hall of Fame baseball player. Ryan Sheckler, a skateboarder. Simple Plan show up in an episode of the show. Kiss, which we did see their episode tonight.
Yeah, well, Simple Plan deserves to show up in this show. They did
Simple
make the
Plan
best
should
theme
show
song.
up, yeah. They should. No, I have no problem with Simple Plan showing up, but Kiss shows up. Brett Hall, a hockey player, shows up. Smash Mouth shows up on an episode. JC Chazes, an NSYNC member, shows up. Taylor Lautner, Kathy Griffin, Josh Peck, Miranda Cosgrove, Willa Holland, an actress from The OC, Arrow, and Gossip Girl. She also voiced Aqua in Kingdom Hearts. Tegan and Sarah, the identical twin pop duo. Never heard of them. And AJ Cook, my favorite guest star, because she plays JJ on Criminal Minds. So, round of applause for AJ Cook. A bunch of celebrities show up on Scooby-Doo, because everyone wants to do Scooby-Doo. They're not always playing themselves, to be fair. AJ Cook just does, like, a voice during the episode that Simple Plan is on. But Simple Plan play themselves, as do Kiss.
Yeah.
And Smash Mouth, I think, play themselves.
And
Yeah,
why would they?
I was about to ask. I don't remember Josh Peck showing up.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
who
think
does
Josh
Josh-
Peck just does a voice. I didn't look up him because I only cared about
Words.
I only cared
Speak.
about AJ Cook. I only cared about AJ Cook. Josh Peck plays a kid named Damien in the episode E Scream. That turns into a zombie.
Damien. Damian
Yeah.
Wayne.
No, not Damian Wayne.
Oh my god.
Damn it. Hey, none of that. None of that. Damian Wayne. We stand Damian Wayne. One of the
Miranda
best Robins.
Cosgrove, his co-star in Drake and Josh, plays she does 2 episodes. She voices someone named Miranda Wright and Stacy in the same episode. She plays Miranda and her friend.
Hmm.
Miranda is an arrogant golfer.
I was going to say
Anyway.
it sounds like you, but I can't imagine you golfing.
I hate golf. In January of
hate golf.
2002, it was announced that Kids WB had given a 13-episode order for a new Scooby-Doo show under the working title. All right, you guys ready for what it could have been called? Here we go.
No.
All New Scooby-Doo, the animated series.
No.
All new.
All New Scooby-Doo. Changing that all to what's is so good. It's the best decision they made.
All
Mhm.
new Scooby Doo is what you say in a preview for the series.
Wait, this Saturday, an all new Scooby-Doo.
Yeah. Yeah.
The series was jointly picked up by both Kids WB and Cartoon Network, as they had begun jointly selling advertising slots with the series arranged to run first on Kids WB and then Cartoon Network. For this incarnation of the franchise, Frank Welker took over as the voice of Scooby. Casey Kasem returned as Shaggy, making a comeback as the character in 2002 when the production team agreed to make Shaggy a vegetarian.
Ugh.
Gray DeLisle returned as the role of Daphne after voicing her in Cyber Chase and Night of the Living Do. And Mindy Cohn took over for BJ Ward as the role of Velma. The series is a modernized version of the original Scooby-Doo Where Are You series, taking place in the 21st century and is meant to be more realistic than the previous, more cartoony incarnations, with more contemporary music and all new original sound effects to replace the classic Hanna-Barbera sound effects.
Of course.
The laugh track was scrapped, except
Then
for
why did
one
we hear it?
episode.
Save for
Except
one
for
episode.
one episode, the Halloween special.
Amanda,
Anna.
what do you think of that laugh track?
Hannah, I'm gonna kill you.
Hannah, I'm so happy you chose one episode with the laugh track. It felt empty without the laugh track.
No, it didn't. No, it
It did
didn't.
not feel empty without the laugh track.
I
Thank you.
missed the
Thank
laugh
you.
track. I missed
You're-
it. I missed it.
You're incorrect.
That's
We
fine.
don't need to be told when to laugh.
We don't
Yeah,
need to be, but Scooby-Doo
I
has
can
to have
laugh
the
on my
laugh
own.
track. I like the laugh track in Scooby-Doo. Sue me.
Believe me, I'm thinking about it.
The classic formula was frequently parried throughout the show, similar to a pup named Scooby-Doo. And it returns to the more formulaic version of the show with humans in monster disguises rather than real monsters and ghosts. The show was produced by Warner Brothers Animation, the successor to Warner Brothers Cartoons, which was the studio famous for bringing the Looney Tunes to life. And which by this time had absorbed Hanna-Barbera Productions. The studio, Hanna-Barbera is still credited as the copyright owner, and Joseph Barbera, co-founder and co-chairman of Hanna-Barbera Studio, served as an executive producer alongside Sander Schwartz. William Hanna, who had died in 2001, gets a special, I think, thank you in some of the credits.
Only in some.
And then Wang Film Productions, Dongwoo Animation Company Limited, and Lotto Animation all contributed some of the animation for this show. Simple Plan performs the theme song.
Damn right they
And
do.
appear in the episode Simple Plan and the Invisible Madman. Two of their songs appear in chase scenes in the show. The song I'd Do Anything and You Don't Mean Anything.
Oof. Both of them bangers.
They will
Not
also
as good as Vacation.
No.
Did you just shush me?
No, I said they will also, and then I stopped myself because you were talking. So it sounded like a. I didn't
You
shush
sounded. You
you.
shushed me. Mm-hmm.
I didn't shush you. They're gonna show up. I was saying show, and then I stopped at shh. They're also gonna show up, not physically, but their music is going to be in Scooby-Doo 2: Monsters Unleashed. So we're gonna hear more
Yeah,
Simple
it
Plan.
is.
Each season, the show had 3 seasons. Each of them had 13 regular episodes and 1 holiday-themed special. The first season was a Scooby-Doo Christmas. The second season is the one we will talk about later tonight, a Scooby-Doo Halloween. And the third season had a Scooby-Doo Valentine.
A Valentine?
They have a Valentine's Day episode for Scooby-Doo. What's New Scooby-Doo aired for 3 seasons on the WB television network's Kids WB programming block before
Were
being
you gonna
put on
say
an...
WWE?
I slipped, yes.
Oh, good catch, Hannah.
Before being put on an indefinite hiatus in 2005, which is sad.
Bring it
They
back.
should have kept going. Warner Home Video has released the entire series on DVD, so if you want to own physical copies of this, you can. At the time that this was released, was the longest Scooby-Doo series with 42 episodes. It will be overtaken by Scooby-Doo Mystery Incorporated, which has 52 episodes. But at release, this was the longest. The show has internal continuity, which is a little different. from the Scooby-Doo shows in the past. Most of them don't. They don't care. Like I said,
Yeah,
Gibby
they
Norton.
really don't.
Gibby
Well,
Norton
they're
shows
they're a
up,
sitcom where everything reverts
changes
back
back.
once the episode's over.
Mhm. Gibby Norton is a recurring character with the Secret Six, the puppies who help out the gang. They have a bunch of them. The Hex Girls show up. The gang will mention places they have been in previous episodes. This show is also established as being in the same continuity as A Pup Named Scooby-Doo.
Damn right it is.
In the episode titled A Terrifying Round with a Menacing Metallic Clown, the flashback shows the kids' forms, and it is the kids from A Pup Named Scooby-Doo. So, most fans have suggested that this is a part of a reboot as A Pup Named Scooby, as like a sequel to A Pup Named Scooby-Doo. A remake reboot of the original series where it is continuing on from A Pup Named Scooby-Doo. It's never explicitly stated how old the gang are in this series, but they are at least legally old enough to live on their own. In a Scooby-Doo
Which
Valentine,
means,
probably at least 18.
well, there is a legal joke in
That
the
is
Hannah's
true.
episode.
So they have to be
Yeah.
18. They are
That's
18.
yeah.
But Daphne and Velma live in a house together, and Fred, Scooby, and Shaggy live in their own house together. The show overall has a 7.3 out of 10 on IMDb. I have a 10-star review and a 1-star review. Which do you want me to read first?
The 1 star, please.
Okay. This is a review from MDC07431, and this is a recent review. This is from January 31st, 2024.
When you said recent,
Yeah.
you meant it.
Yeah. Disappointing update of the classic 1960s show. I love the original Scooby-Doo and how they made it creepy and fun. This version updated for the 2000s is plastic and unfun. We have Casey Kasem and Frank Welker back as Shaggy and Fred respectively, with new actors doing the voices for Velma and Daphne. Mindy Cohn just doesn't work for me as Velma, nor does Gray Griffin, got the name wrong, as Daphne. Another bad thing is, Welker voices Scooby since Don Messick had died. His Scooby is so bad. And what happened to Fred? He's no longer the serious guy with the voice of reason. They turned him into a goofy, immature buffoon. The animation is very...
Whoa!
First of all,
he was always a buffoon.
the word you are looking for is himbo.
I was gonna say we hadn't used that word yet, but we did use that word in 2024.
Oh, absolutely.
All right, continue.
The animation is also very computerized and has no life to it. It's very boring. And Scooby is not the main character, even though the show is called What's New Scooby-Doo.
I beg to differ.
But there's one last line. There's 2 more lines, but the next line is fun. Plus, they've added sexual tension between the characters, which is totally inappropriate. I think I'll just stick with the original instead of this mess.
There wasn't sexual tension in the original Scooby-Doo?
I don't know if there was in the original, but
There was.
In the movies, there certainly is.
This just makes me upset.
It is heavily implied Fred and Daphne are dating in the original.
Yeah. They just never say it. We do have a 10-star review. A revamp of the old show. Oh, this is from Angelus 2. This was left in September of 2008. A revamp of the old show. I grew up in the 90s watching the reruns of the old episodes, and then this series made its way. It has everything the old show has, only set in a modern time. The whole gang returns: Scooby, Shaggy, Velma, Daphne, and Fred. The plot is simple. When a spooky occurrence happens, the Scooby Gang arrive to solve the problem and find the culprit responsible.
I'm sorry, what was that word?
I think they meant to write gang, but they spelled GNAG. So Gnag.
I thought you said nag. I just thought you said nag.
Gnag. The show is more colorful and much more funnier. It's great for a new generation to be exposed to the coolest team of detectives. The voice actors are brilliant as always, and the occasional references to the movies is great. Overall, a great show. I think we all kind of favor that review over the other review.
I definitely do.
I don't know what that other reviewer was on.
It's so, I don't know. It feels like it felt like Scooby Doo. I don't know what to say to that guy.
Was
I don't
he
know how
upset
he
it
could
was so formulaic?
I don't know. It seems like he likes the formulaic because he likes the original,
I know
and the
what to say
original
to
is
him.
super formulaic. What are
I
you?
know
What are you gonna
exactly
say
what
to
to
him?
say to him. You're wrong.
Good answer to him. Yeah, he is
Yeah,
wrong.
you're objectively wrong.
Well, Amanda, you're taking us through the first episode of What's New Scooby Doo, the first ever episode of it.
I
There's
am.
Snow Creature. There's no creature like Snow Creature.
Will say I had to watch this on Tubi.
Yeah, is it
Uh,
only on Tubi?
yeah, I thought it was on Hulu or would be on Max, but nope.
Max lied. HBO is a lying company, and I hate them.
Yeah. Watch this on Tubi. Way to go, Tubi.
Love Tubi in this household.
Yeah. So we start off, middle of the night at like a winter lodge, ski lifts everywhere. There's some dude. Oh, wait,
Bronze medalist Chris Klug. All right.
we don't know
Some
that's him
dude.
yet. We don't know that's him yet.
Put some respect on his name.
Whatever. He's talking to a woman named Gretchen, and then she says his name, Chris, and he goes snowboarding, and they try and make him look all cool and stuff. And as he's snowing down the hill, some intense music starts playing, and we see a little snow monster, ice monster. He reminds me of the Ice Titan from Hercules.
Okay, I can see that.
Yeah.
Thank you, Hannah. And then we see Chris as he's escaping the monster. He's, going into a bunch of trees, and then we don't see him collide, but we hear him go, ah! Really great acting.
You want to do that voice acting again, Amanda?
Ah.
Yeah, that you did capture it accurately. Chris Klug is not a voice actor, clearly.
No, he's not. So, and then we get the theme song, which is so good.
It's so good.
It's so good. Even
It
like,
is on Spotify, and for all our anyone who uses Spotify, the song is on Spotify. So just give that a listen after you listen to this episode.
yeah. Na 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 na. I love this song so much. I tried to not
Great
get
song.
copyright strike.
Great song.
So, Fred is after the the theme song. Fred's driving the mystery machine, and Velma is looking at the map, but Fred is not looking at the map. He is looking at his nice little GPS that he has, because this is the early 2000s, so GPSs were just coming into the zeitgeist. So they're going to Wilkinson's snowboarding open, and Fred's like, all of my heroes will be there, and Shaggy, just like me, all of my favorite foods will be there: hot cocoa, hot cakes, hot apple cider. Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Guys, it's
Basically,
almost fall. Hot
I
apple
know.
cider is coming.
Oh, I'm so ready.
So Velma tells Freddy that he should have taken a left, and then we get an automated message from his navigation system that's like, another right ahead, and then he's like, I can't. There's a cliff. There's nowhere to turn. And Velma's like, dude, I think your navigation system is like not working. I think she said having a nervous breakdown. But he's like, no, it's fine. This is great. It can guide us within 5 inches of our program destination, and immediately it starts sparking, and like electricity buzzes in it, and it says, you have now arrived at Sunset Beach. Apparently, this mystery machine is just all vamped out with the newest tech, and it also has live TV. Because Daphne pulls down a screen, like a DVD thing, from like the top of the van, and it's showing live TV.
As
She's
it
like,
should. The Mystery Machine should always be the coolest fucking thing in the world.
it's true, but like I don't think that existed back then.
Does it even exist now?
I don't know. Like
I don't
think so.
I don't think
in
so.
a car? I don't know. So
My phone can barely connect to my car sometimes, so like
I
probably
know.
most cars aren't. I don't think a car can handle live TV ever.
Yeah, I don't know. So they're seeing the Bruce Wilkinson, who's a billionaire, coming in his helicopter. And this woman is going to interview him, but all of a sudden the mystery machine starts pulling up into the frame, and Fred's like, "Hey, that looks just like the mystery machine. Fred, why are you watching the TV and not watching the road?"
The best scene in the episode.
Because his navigation system will help him out.
Yeah. So Velma
His
tells him
broken
to
nav system.
Velma tells him to watch the road, and he does like a bunch of donut turns into a parking space.
It was a pretty nice park job, though.
It was. Shaggy says, "Whoa, Fred, great parking karma." And Fred's face, he looks like he saw God.
I think he did.
I think he thought, like, this is it. So Daphne looks at him like, "I'm gonna get you back for this."
As she should.
Yeah. So
Her
Scooby
life
pops.
was put in danger.
Well, yeah, of course. Scooby pops his head out the window and gets a face full of snow because Gretchen is snowboarding. And Fred's like, "Hey, that was really cool. You're Gretchen Mueller. You've won contests all across Europe." And she grabs his chin and is like, "Lucky boy, you will watch me win here as well." And then, like, she walks away. But Fred, with his chin, follows her. Lucky Daphne wasn't watching that. She would have been pissed. The gang turns around because they're hearing the interview still taking place with Bruce. And they're like, "Well, how are you gonna handle like Chris Klug? Is that his name? Klug?
Chris Klug, yeah.
Yeah. How are you gonna handle Chris Klug being out of the competition and hurting himself under mysterious circumstances?" And Bruce is like, "I'm sure with $1 million at stake, like other competitors will be hungry for victory, so we'll be fine." And Fred's like, "Chris Klug was injured?" Velma's like, "Mysterious circumstances." And Daphne's like, $1 million. And Shaggy and Scooby say hungry. So Velma's like, "I think we ought to talk with Chris Klug," which, if he's an Olympic champion or whatever, how
Mm-hmm.
can you just
How
go
what?
up to him and, yeah, can they just go up to him and talk to him? Are they also famous?
They don't. Hey, no, the Olympians aren't that famous. Come on, not every Olympian is Michael Phelps. Had
He
you heard of
wasn't
Chris
on the
Klug before
US
this?
gymnastics team.
Yeah.
No, I've never heard about this.
Yeah, you never heard of Chris Klug before this episode.
You're right, and it's a gross name, Klug.
It might be Klug. I don't know if that's better or worse.
It doesn't sound right in my throat. Sorry, Chris Klug. I'm sure you are a great Olympian, but your last name hurts.
He's third best. Third best Olympian. Bronze medal.
Yeah, I know. It's no
Still
Serena
impressive.
Williams.
Still,
Yeah.
still really impressive. But like, come on,
Yeah,
Simone
yeah.
Biles and Serena are over here winning gold. Come on, Chris.
Yeah. So,
Lindsey Vaughn's getting gold. What are you doing?
what? Is your patriotism gonna come out again, Frankie? It's not even the Olympics yet.
It's bursting. I know the Olympics aren't happening yet. All right, we gotta keep moving.
So they're with Chris Klug, and Fred is just being a fanboy. So Chris is like, "Man, I'm bummed that I'm not gonna be snowboarding thanks to the oversized popsicle." And of course, Scooby and Shaggy hop on that. They're like, where? And instead they see gift baskets. And Scooby makes his way over to those food baskets.
I assume they're for Chris.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
get well baskets.
Get well baskets, yeah. Velma's like,
He doesn't need all of them, though. He can share the muffins.
yeah, but Scooby doesn't give him an opportunity to share.
And Scooby eats all the muffins.
Scooby eats everything. So Velma's like, are you sure it was a monster? And he's like, yeah, totally was. Fred's like, the best way to get a handle on this mystery is from the inside. So he's gonna pose as one of the pro snowboarders. And as he mentions that, a guy named Avalanche comes over. And he's like, monster? You guys talking about a monster? And Chris is like, yeah, true. It was a full-on snow creature. And Avalanche is like, yeah, I believe you, sure. A competitor like you wouldn't quit on purpose. And Fred's like, Avalanche Anderson. This guy invented the sport. Apparently he was in a lot of movies, like snowboarding movies. So we then hear Scooby burp, and we see that he has eaten all of the muffins. So Fred's like, it's fine. Scooby's gonna need that extra fuel to keep him warm while we search every trail. Hannah, I don't have dogs. I mean, I have dogs, but like they don't live with me. They live with my dad. They're my dad's dogs. If your dog ate all of a bronze medal Olympian's get well baskets, wouldn't
Yeah.
you say sorry? Daphne just goes, oh, Scooby. And that's about it. I would be embarrassed.
I mean, the dog will probably also proceed to vomit it all back up.
Yeah, but this is Scooby-Doo we're talking
So
about.
it'll get even worse.
Yeah. It just...
Your dog will vomit. Scooby won't.
Yeah, Scooby can eat
Thanks.
chocolate and whatever the heck he wants and not get affected.
Yeah, I know. I did notice, though, none of those get well baskets had any meat in them.
They were all muffins.
Why would they have meat in them? What?
I don't know. I've seen like
People when you were in the hospital, did people send you baskets of meat?
You just get sent a ribeye.
No. I did, however, whenever I was in the hospital getting my brain checked for like a week, my uncle would stop by and just drop off Chinese food. So I did get
like,
meat.
Nice though.
Now I want dumplings.
Yeah, I know. Anyway, so the gang is wandering out at night. We only see Scooby, Daphne, Fred, and Shaggy. Velma is coming in the rear. They tell her to hurry up. She is
She's waddling on over. What do you mean?
Would you describe how she's dressed?
She's waddling on over because she's wearing like every pair of pants and every coat she owns.
She's
She
like
looks
a
like that
giant...
tire mascot.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Michelin Man.
Yeah. She looks like Veruca Salt. Or not Veruca Salt. Violet Beauregard and Willy Wonka when she turns into blueberry. Except she's orange.
I like that all their clothes stick with the theme.
Yeah, it's good. It's great. It's like all of my clothes are basically black, so Shaggy makes a joke. He's like, no offense, Velma, but you look like you should be knocking down giant bowling pins. I enjoyed that one. Velma's like, haha, very funny. You guys will all be laughing when you guys get sick, and I don't. And they all go to hide. As they run away, they spin Velma in a circle, and Shaggy goes over to her and rolls her onto her side and rolls her away.
I would feel offended.
I wouldn't. I would love it. Roll me away. They see the news reporter. I don't know if we ever get her name. But they see the news reporter, and she's talking on the phone because she doesn't have a very good signal, saying, "Look, I know viewership is down, but I can promise that we're gonna get more viewers." So that's kind of suspicious, and Fred and Daphne and Velma all say as much. Fred does make a joke about, like, why did she have to get a signal all the way out here? You'd think you'd get a better one on the slopes or whatever. And then they see a mysterious figure walking up the slopes. They're like, "Oh, it's a snow creature." Well, Shaggy and Scooby say that, but Velma's like, "No, I don't think so. That guy isn't made out of ice and snow." So they decide to follow him. Or it. It's obviously a him, though. Obviously.
Yeah, they keep saying it. It's obviously a human being.
Yeah. So he was heading towards an abandoned ski jump. And as they start going over there, the snow monster comes out. Velma's like, "Is that your stomach rumbling, Scooby?" And he's like, "Nope." And they turn around, and it is the snow monster. He roars at them. He really does remind me of the Ice Titan. Fred's like, "Hey guys, don't worry. Most of the time it's just a monster in a costume." And Shaggy's like, "There's only one thing missing in your theory, Fred. Like the creep inside." And Shaggy puts his face towards the monster, and it's see-through. Ice.
Which was really cool.
Yeah, it is. The monster starts going after Velma because she can only waddle. So Fred leads him away, saying, "Hey, pick on somebody your own size." And as he's running away, he falls down a cliff and breaks his leg. As he's like, "Ow, my leg," some guy in the shadows, it's supposed to make us think that it's the guy that was walking, but it's not. Some guy in the shadows finds him. It's the caretaker. Is it the caretaker? That's what he does, right? He's like the caretaker, right?
Yeah, he
Yes.
takes care of the slopes.
Yeah, he's like the maintenance man guy. Theodore, the trail manager. Yeah.
Good old
So
Teddy.
yeah. So gang comes over and they're like, "What are you doing?" And he's like, "I'm checking on your friend that broke his leg." And Velma's like, "Didn't you see the ice creature?" And he's like, "Stop talking crazy nonsense and let's hurry up and get you back to the lodge because you're broken." So
You're broken is so mean.
I said that. He didn't say that.
Oh, I didn't know. I don't write quotes down usually, so I didn't know.
I don't think he said that he was broken.
That's good. I'm glad he didn't say to Fred, "You're broken. Let's go."
I would say that to somebody
It
though.
is an
If you
accurate statement.
Yeah. His leg is broken. Frankie, if you broke your leg and we were out somewhere and I was like, "All right, let's get you on here because we need to get you home because you're broken." Yeah, I would say that 1,000%. You are indeed broken. You've broken your leg. So back at the lodge, Fred is in a cast. And Velma is talking about how Theodore gave her the creeps. So she's a little suspicious of him. And they're like, "We should go and check him out." And Shaggy and Scooby are like, "Nope, absolutely not. We've had our fill of the snow monster." So Velma starts sneezing. She has a cold, even though she was the one who was bundled up.
She did all that work for nothing.
I know. So Fred's like, "Yeah, let's go check him out," and tries to get out of bed. And Daphne's like, "You're not going anywhere. You're going to rest, just like the doctor said. You're going to rest. We are going to go investigate," which I don't know if Fred would have a lot of confidence, but sure. So they go to Theodore's cabin, and they knock, but he doesn't. Actually, I don't think they knock. I'm thinking of the Halloween one. I think they just walk right in this one. But it's a really messy cabin. There's dirty plates everywhere, cobwebs, like everything is just a mess. Velma's
It
still
looks
sneezing.
abandoned.
Yeah. Velma's still sneezing, and maybe or at one point she sneezes snow onto Shaggy and Scooby because her sneezes are so powerful. They're like, "Hey, why don't you should probably go back to the lodge and rest, get some hot soup." And she's like, "You're probably too sick." And she's like, "I'm not too sick to recognize a clue." And she points at a newspaper clipping that says champion ski jumper Theodore's career was tragically cut short when he collided with a young man on a so-called snowboard. So this guy must be really old that snowboarding was just invented or something. Shaggy's like, he must have been pretty good because he's got a lot of trophies here. So, makes him pretty bitter towards snowboarders probably. Daphne thinks that Velma has sneezed again. Because there's a rumbling noise. And Velma's like, wasn't me. They go out, oh, it's the snow monster. Thankfully he wasn't chasing them. He went past the house and into the trees. Shaggy makes the joke that snowman is definitely not a jolly happy soul.
Good joke. Good joke.
Good joke. They hear somebody go, ah, help. And they look, and it's Avalanche Anderson, and he too has hurt himself, apparently. We see them back at the lodge, and he's like, Doc, you gotta believe me, totally made of ice and snow. And the doc's like, I can take you in for x-rays if you want, but it seems like it's pretty tender. He's like, what's the point? I'm out of the contest. I know I'm out of the contest, and that's all that matters. So, the gang is harassing the billionaire Bruce. They're like, he's like, please leave me alone. Everybody is getting hurt. My sponsors are pulling out. I got a lot to deal with right now. So Daphne's like, listen to Freddy's plan. It's brilliant, or whatever. Not how I would classify Fred's plans all the time. But Fred's like, hey, monsters targeting professional snowboarders. We need a decoy. And he's like, sure, fine. If it'll get you off my back, use a decoy. So Daphne's like, there's something not right about this billionaire. And Shaggy comes over asking the real questions. He's like, who's going to be the decoy, Fred, if you're broken? And they all smile at Shaggy, which I feel bad for him at this point.
He's not a snowboarder.
He is the athlete, though, apparently.
Well, not anymore. This is a new continuity, Amanda.
You're right. So Shaggy is in ski gear or snowboarding gear on the slopes, and Daphne's like, "You don't actually have to snowboard."
The Shagginator is on the.
I'm not saying that.
You call him by his name.
I'm not saying it. Daphne's like, all you have to do is fake it and wait for the monster to show up. You don't actually have to snowboard. So Daphne disappears, and two other snowboarders come in, Gretchen and somebody else. And she's like, so you're the last minute entry we're hearing about. He does call himself the Invincible Shagginator. And Gretchen's like, you think you're invincible, huh? And basically pushes him down the slope. And
that's a crime. You just pushed a man down a mountain.
Mm-hmm. Shaggy is screaming the whole way down, but he's doing fine. And she's like, wow, he has some unorthodox methods. As he's snowboarding, the snow monster is trying to get him. Oh no. So Scooby sneezes. What does Scooby do?
I don't remember.
He gets
grabs a sled.
A sled, not a snowboard, a sled. Thank you. To go and rescue Shaggy, and he gets to Shaggy just in time because Shaggy loses his snowboard mid-air, but it's fine. Scooby catches him, which that's not how snowboards work. You're basically strapped into that thing. That's not coming off unless your legs are basically broken. And even then, probably not. So the sled stops just by some broken ice. The monster's still coming at them, though, so Scooby takes his claw and cuts the ice so that they start drifting away so that the monster can't get them. And then Scooby uses his tail as a little motor. Totally saved them. back at the lodge, Velma says, I'm looking up things on the internet about how Wilkinson basically sold off a bunch of his assets. She sneezes, and because she's in a rollaway chair, um, rolls out of the hallway into the bed, and Daphne basically just locks her in there and it's like, you're too sick to think, go and rest. And Fred's like, hey, if you can't sleep, the rooms all have a big stack of old snowboarding movies on DVD. And Velma's like, lucky me. Daphne looks out the window and sees that there's a light flickering at the top of the ski jump, and she's like, I'm gonna go check it out. And Fred's like, okay, I'll go with you. And he falls, and Daphne's like, nope, no, you're not. Puts him back in his wheelchair because he's broken. And is like, doctor's orders, you're gonna stay here. So Fred's gonna watch Daphne go up there using his, like, what do you call it? They're like night vision goggles. Fred's like, you can't go. It's way too dangerous for, and stops. And she's like, for what? For a girl? She's like, I will be perfectly safe. So Fred's gonna watch over from her, and he's gonna call her on her cell phone if he needs anything. So she heads up there, on a snowmobile, and she is really just killing it on that snowmobile. Fred is like, that's being safe? Really? So she goes up there, and as she goes in, she sees like a little device or whatever. Fred then sees the snow monster heading towards her and is like, Daphne, you gotta get out of there. Daphne can't hear, though, because that device is causing some interference with her cell phone. So as she backs up out of the house, she backs right into the snow monster. It's fine. She came prepared. She's got a hairdryer. And she's not afraid to use it. So she tries to melt the snow monster, but that doesn't seem to work. So instead, because it's an old rickety shack, she melts some of the snow above it so that it falls on top of the snow monster. And she gets out of there on her snowmobile. So,
Girl, what heat are you using on this hairdryer? Why are you burning your hair?
Yeah, I know. My hairdryer is not that strong. We see Shaggy and Scooby making some famous garlic, red chili, onion, Tabasco sauce consomme. In the kitchen to fight off the chill. I think it's for Velma. So Velma comes in. She's like, I thought I'd find you guys in here. And they hear somebody coming, so they go and hide in a cabinet and two big pots. And it's Chris and Avalanche. And it's Bruce Wilkinson as well. And he's like, hey, the Wilkinson Empire is really relying on these games. I need you guys to compete. And Avalanche and Chris are like, nope, we can't do it.
We're broken.
This is the perfect depiction of a billionaire telling his injured workers to still go out there and work.
Yeah. They see the news reporter who is listening in. She gets on her cell phone and is talking about like a new scoop or whatever. Nancy Chang, that's her name. So she was listening the entire time. So they're in the room now, and they're trying to figure out things. So Nancy Chang, suspicious. Daphne's like, not as strange as a billionaire without billions. And Shaggy's like, but the contestants also have a motive too, because, $1 million. And Scooby does his little charades little thing. He's like, we can't, don't forget about the creepy old Theodore or the mystery sneak as well. So they're like, how is this mystery connected to the creature? How do we stop it? And Velma says, And Shaggy's like, I don't like that. It always happens right before Fred tells us the plan, and the plan usually involves us being live bait. As he says live bait, they're already out in the slopes again. Shaggy makes another Frosty joke. Hey, Mr. Snowman, I got your corncob pipe and your button nose right here. Scooby hears some rumbling and taps Shaggy on the shoulders like, hey. And Shaggy's like, no, not right now. Before he can say anything, he's like, don't tell me. There's a monster behind me. And Scooby's like, yes. And he's like, I told you not to tell me. So they both end up screaming and running away. We see Fred telling Velma and Daphne his elaborate plan, which is it's definitely elaborate. He basically is like, you're gonna pull Velma, who is sick, mind you. You're gonna pull this rope, and it's gonna release these barrels, and then Daphne's gonna hit him with the snowmaker, the snowmaking machine. So, the Shaggy and Scooby are running towards them where the plan is heading, but Velma sneezes, and when she sneezes, she pulls the cord, tripping Shaggy and Scooby and kind of throwing this whole plan out of whack, as it always goes. And we get our epic chase scene. It's a rad world. It's pretty standard Scooby-Doo chase scene. The ending, though, they lead the monster off of a slope, and he ends up breaking his legs off. There is one part, though, too, which I thought was kind of mean. The snow monster gets injured or whatever. He lays down, and Shaggy and Scooby come as like the snow medics or whatever, and they have a little sled. They put him on the sled and then launch him off of another cliff. Little mean. So.
This man's broken 3 people's legs at this point.
I know.
As far as we know, he's broken 3 legs. He's done more damage than Tanya Harding.
Oh my god, Frankie. So his legs break off, and Velma's like, no, you don't, and takes out his little computer chip, and he falls to the ground. Velma.
It was a computer the whole time.
Yeah, it was a computer the whole time. Fred tells them that it was made of some kind of see-through lucite, fashioned to make it look like ice, even moving parts. So, like, the gears were also made of ice. And Daphne's like, oh, that's why I couldn't melt him with a dryer, and that's why we could see through him. So they're like, okay, cool, robot, who's holding the remote control? Ah, it's the mystery sneak. He's getting away. We have to go get him. It's fine. Velma sneezes. Scooby turns her and launches her sneeze towards the mountain, which causes an avalanche, which can kill people, by the way.
Yeah. Velma's a weapon of mass destruction when she gets a cold.
So he gets stuck in the avalanche, and they pull it off, and it's Avalanche Anderson. Crazy. Did you guys see this coming?
To be fair, I thought it was going to be the news reporter.
Oh.
Why would it be the news reporter?
Yeah, so you didn't see it coming?
I didn't. It could have been Teddy.
Really, Frankie? It
could have been Theodore.
I want to know your reasoning behind the news reporter.
Yeah.
I don't know. She was suspicious. Why is she always lurking around? Stop lurking.
I knew the moment that he like hurt his leg, and the doctor was like, "Oh, let's get you some X-rays," and he's like, "It doesn't matter." I was like, "That's suspicious right there." So Velma's like, I was stuck in a room watching movies, and I realized that Avalanche has connections to Hollywood, specifically people in special effects. So he got that monster, and he controlled it with virtual reality gloves. That's why it acted and moved like a living creature. That's not how virtual reality works, but sure, it does in this cartoon. He used a powerful remote-controlled amplifier, and he broadcasted it from the top of the ski jump, because that's where the signal was the strongest. And Shaggy's like, but we saw the creature injure him. And Velma's like, no, we just saw him lying in the snow. He told us that he was injured, but Avalanche was about to make a miraculous recovery. And Chris comes in, he's like, why? Why would you do that? Because the only thing standing in his way was Chris, I guess. The bronze medalist, Chris.
To be fair, no one else there has an Olympic medal, so.
You're right. I mean, I get it. I feel like Gretchen was kind of a threat too. Maybe. I mean,
Yeah,
there was a couple threats.
Gretchen was never attacked.
Yeah, at all.
She would have
So,
still crushed him.
Avalanche said that he would have gotten away with it if it wasn't for you interloping adolescents. And Velma's like, that is meddling kids to you, sir.
You say it
Um,
right or don't say it at all.
yeah. He's like, if it wasn't for you guys and that gluttonous mutt, I'd be famous again. And Fred's like, oh, you will be famous with the cops and the National Snowboarding Commission, which is way more of a
Not
threat than cops.
not the National Snowboarding Commission.
So it's the next day, we're back on the slopes, and Shaggy's like, check out all the shreddage with Chris. He's like, this is a great contest. And Chris is like, Shaggy, you are still in the contest. Why don't you try it? And Shaggy's like, no way. I've had enough scary runs for me to last a lifetime. Nothing is going to get me down that slope. And then Scooby comes out with the head of the ice monster, and Shaggy gets on a snowboard that looks like the Mystery Machine. Scooby jumps onto Shaggy's back, still in the monster costume, and Shaggy races down the finish line, basically falling into a ball, which I feel like a ball of snow, which I feel like would disqualify you, but I guess it doesn't. So
No,
Daphne gives
why? Why would
Shaggy,
it?
I don't know, but Daphne gives Shaggy the trophy. Um, He's like, you won, Shaggy. He's like, whoa, I won $1 million? That's a lot of curly fries. Um, he's like, where's the check? And they're like, better ask him. And Bruce is like, in case you haven't heard, I'm out of the billionaire business. So Theodore comes over to him and is like, all right, Wilkinson, get back to work. Making the billionaire work. And that's how it ends, with Scooby saying Scooby Dooby Doo after a joke of some kind that I didn't write down.
I forgot how fast the episodes move because we've been watching movies forever.
I know.
Those episodes move quick.
Yeah, they do. All right, Hannah's turn. Take us through this Kiss episode, which I'd like to say I called it. I
Like, what do
texted
you mean you called
everybody.
it?
I called who was the bad guy was. Did you not get the text messages?
Oh, I got the text. I didn't think that was you calling it.
I said who it was.
Oh, you said. Oh, it's her. I didn't know that was a guess on who the villain was. You just said it's Marcy out of nowhere.
As
Oh,
soon
right.
as she was mean to Velma, I was like, it's her. Oh, bitch. Nobody's mean to Velma and gets away with it. All right, go ahead, Hannah.
We ready to talk about a Scooby-Doo Halloween for spooky season?
Let's do it. This episode was great.
I said yesterday to you guys that this episode was wild.
It was wild. I don't know if I would say great. I liked mine
I love
better.
this episode. I like this one better.
This episode begins at the end of a mystery. The gang is in the process of capturing the swamp creature. And of course, it's a man in a mask. So, as Daphne, Velma, and Fred are telling the sheriff how and why the villain committed their crime, Shaggy and Scooby are acting awfully anxious about something. They're checking their watches, they're tapping their feet. The boys are simply ready to go. The swamp creature villain can't even say those famous words, I would have gotten away with it if it weren't for you meddling kids, because Shaggy and Scooby say them instead as they pull the rest of the gang into the mystery machine. Shaggy is driving, Scooby is the navigator, and the rest of the gang is in the back of the van for a change. Shag and Scoob are super anxious to leave because the gang's going to Banning Junction to see Velma's goal and celebrate Halloween. And apparently, the country town does Halloween like no other. There's a little carnival, there's trick or treating, and the rock band Kiss is playing at the Halloween dance this year. As Shaggy is driving, Fred is on the verge of a panic attack because Shaggy can't drive a stick. And we learn that Fred baby talks to the mystery machine because he does force Shaggy to pull over so he can drive instead. We also learned that Shaggy and Scooby just love Halloween and find nothing about it scary. During the scene, Daphne points out these creepy looking scarecrows in the cornfields, and you gotta remember those guys for later. So the gang pulls up to Velma's aunt and uncle's house. As they get out of the mystery machine, a bunch of angry farmers with pitchforks appear and threaten them. One of these dudes looks like the creeper from Scooby Doo, Where Are You? But he's just flesh tone instead of green. And more importantly, we meet Velma's aunt and uncle, and they apologize for the poor reception they get and call off the bloodthirsty farmers. Just a little side note, Velma's Aunt Meg is dressed like a 90s elementary school teacher with a little fun Halloween vest on. And I kind of love the vest.
You're gonna wear a vest, a little vest this fall?
I like these Halloween vest. I don't know. It's kitschy in the right way. It's at this point that Aunt Meg and Uncle Evan tell the gang what's going on in Banning Junction, why the farmers are about to skewer the gang. Apparently, the town's cornfields are being slashed and burned during the night, and the cops are unsurprisingly clueless about who could be doing this, hence the angry mob. The working theory is that teenagers are the ones burning and slashing the cornfields at night, as stated by Knockoff Creeper. And while this man is low-key threatening the mystery gang, we get a new shot. We're now looking at this scene unfold from the cornfield, and we see two gloved hands. They appear and they push the corn stalks, so whoever this is can get a better look at the mystery gang. We've moved inside for this next scene. They're chilling with Aunt Meg and is bringing the gang some milk and cookies. Shaggy and Scooby are playing with a skeleton. Uncle Evan is in his dad chair. And then a new person walks in. It's Meg and Evan's daughter, Marcy. And Velma is super
There's nothing like them.
No. Velma looks exactly like her Aunt Meg. And Marcy
Where'd they steal this baby from?
Marcy is this pretty girl next door kind of vibe, though she's also the mean girl. And like I said, Velma, she's super excited to see her cousin. They haven't seen each other in ages.
Yeah, fuck this girl. Fuck her.
Yeah, we learned she's the mean girl super quick.
Yeah, Marcy asked Velma if she's wearing the same outfit from the last time they saw each other.
To be fair, though, Velma does wear the same outfit.
It is virtually the same outfit from What's New Scooby-Doo, or Scooby-Doo, Where Are You?
Don't tell people that, though.
No, Marcy is being a bitch. And Aunt Meg is a kind of a shitty parent because she doesn't call her daughter out. She just interrupts this conversation and she tells the mystery gang that they've picked the best time to visit because not only is it Halloween, it's the 100th anniversary of the town, or at least the town's urban legend. Hank Banning. The town put a curse on Banning Junction when he died on Halloween night 100 years ago. This man ran the town as mayor for 30 years. And in his old age, he started to go senile. And the town decided that they wouldn't vote him in as mayor anymore because he was seeing and hearing things that weren't there. So he cursed the town and said his ghost would return on Halloween night in 100 years to seek revenge on Banning Junction. It's pretty standard urban legend. Scooby,
I think that's a good standard to have for your elected politicians. If they're seeing things and hearing voices, don't elect them.
Yeah. Also, term limits are important. So Scooby, he's a bit frightened by this story, but Aunt Meg kind of reassures him that this is simply an urban legend. all this story is really doing is upping the tourism this year for the Halloween carnival and party that's apparently very, very famous. Because, Kiss is going to play. What is this town's budget for Halloween? This is a farming community, and they've gotten Kiss to play the Halloween dance. Not a Kiss tribute band or a cover band, but actual Kiss.
To be fair, it is 2003. At that point, Kiss ain't doing great numbers.
No, but this town has like a population of maybe 500. Right after Shaggy brings up Kiss, lightning flashes, and we see out the window the reflection of one of those scarecrows from earlier. Daphne sees the reflection and freaks the fuck out. And then Marcy calls Daphne ugly.
Yeah, she's brutal. Marcy is a killer.
Mm-hmm. Aunt Meg once again ignores her daughter's mean girl comment and says that Marcy has even more reason to celebrate Halloween this year because Marcy is the town's corn princess. Fred says that that's neat, which prompts Marcy to flirt with him, much to Daphne's chagrin. And the scene ends with Marcy continuing to flirt with Fred and continue being a bitch to Daphne. We then get to see a brief scene of another cornfield being destroyed before cutting to the Halloween carnival the next morning. Our girl Daphne is seething. She is with Aunt Meg and is filling up helium balloons while Marcy is teaching Fred how to make a caramel apple.
It's not that hard, Fred. I'm going to be honest. I don't think you need to be taught.
It's not. But Marcy manages to get caramel on Fred's face, and she gets to wipe it off and flirt even some more. But as Marcy is wiping Fred's face, the balloon that Daphne has been filling gets too big and pops, which causes Marcy to drop an apple in the caramel and get it all over herself. The laugh track goes wild. Velma is hanging out with her uncle, and as they're having a lovely little conversation, she gets to meet the mayor and Doug Dimmadome, owner of the Dimsdale Dimmadome. These men are not important to the story. I did not write down what these people were talking about when Knockoff Creeper rushes into frame, revealing that another cornfield has been trashed. Obviously, we cut to the cornfield. There's only one clue, that being the only tracks in the field are the ones the group just made, which Velma points out shouldn't be possible. There should be animal tracks, there should be tire tracks, there should be something in this destroyed cornfield. Shaggy and Scooby are enjoying a caramel apple, which gets stolen by this adorable little black cat. And we have seen this cat before. It scared Scooby the previous night with its red demon eyes. I just didn't mention it then. This cat proceeds to take Shaggy and Scooby to the water tower, and when they reach the top, they notice that the cornfield has been burned into Halloween patterns. One of them's a bat, one of them is a pumpkin, which that's what the gang is standing in. There's a witch on a broom, and there's a boo ghost.
Oh, they did great work.
Beautiful imagery.
Yeah, let them do it. They're just decorating the town for Halloween.
Yeah, it's just aliens obsessed with Halloween making funky crop circles. So Fred and Velma have climbed to the top of the water tower, and Fred finds a glove up there, which is odd because this water tower isn't in use. Enter the best character in the episode, Agnes. She's wearing a Victorian gown. She's the owner of the adorable black cat. She's creepy, and she tells the crowd that Hank Banning is responsible for the cornfield burnings. She proceeds to say that Hank Banning will kill everyone, save for those who have prepared, i.e., those who lock themselves in their basements with canned goods.
I did write that every good horror town needs a horror movie grandma, and so
Yeah.
Agnes is fitting right in.
Yeah. And Agnes has fully terrified Shaggy. Up till this point, he and Scooby have been like, Halloween's not scary. Well, it is scary, but it's in the fun, fake way. No, now he's terrified. Horror movie grandma did it for him. He's like, let's get out of here. The gang is having a little chit chat about the mystery. They're standing around being like, who could have done this? And Daphne jumps right in and says that it's Marcy. She says, no facts, no, just vibes, it's Marcy. Fred and Velma are aghast at this statement. They're like, Marcy's so nice and sweet and innocent. Marcy could never do this. It's at this point that Fred decides the gang needs to split up. Fred, Daphne, and Velma, they're going to go to the library while Shaggy and Scooby get to go visit Agnes at her home. We follow Shaggy and Scooby first. Agnes doesn't seem to be home, but the two just kind of let themselves in. We learn a very important fact here. The black cat is named Mr. Noodles, as seen on his food bowl, which Scooby proceeds to eat the cat food from. Shaggy does find a clue.
It's only fair. It's only fair. The cat did steal the caramel apple. So
to lead them to a clue. Scooby's just a thief.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. If this cat stole my caramel apple, I'd be pissed.
Shaggy finds a clue in Agnes's house. It's just a bunch of farm tools in a display case. He then theorizes that Agnes is behind this, basically because she's crazy. And as he's making fun of her, Agnes walks in. She gets mad at the two, as does Mr. Noodles, and Shaggy and Scooby run away.
He gets upset saying, like, have you ever heard of knocking? You weren't home, so even if they did knock, one, you wouldn't know if they did or not, and two, you wouldn't have heard it.
She was outside picking corn.
She wouldn't have heard the knocking. She wasn't inside.
Honestly, I think she was waiting to ambush them. Just to be like the horror movie grandma some more. We next cut to Velma, Daphne, and Fred at the library. Velma has discovered that right outside of town, there's a food processing plant which has been buying up the local farms and their land over the years. The last few independently owned fields are the ones that have recently been targeted. And who owns this plant? Why, only Doug Dimmadome, owner of the Dimsdale Dimmadome. Marcy is also at the library. She's studying for her electrical engineering class that her high school is forcing her to take. But she's just about to leave because she's the corn princess and needs to get ready for the party tonight. Fred tells her, "Oh, you must be so excited." And Marcy replies, "Well, it's one way to spend my birthday." Velma doesn't know her cousin's birthday.
That's sad.
I find that very surprising. Like, I know she and Marcy are presented as not super close, at least not in recent years, it would seem. But it is implied that she's kind of close with her aunt and uncle. And so I do feel like Velma would remember Marcy's birthday.
Although, to be fair, her aunt and uncle don't seem to know it's her birthday either, so.
That's true. True. Yeah, Marcy's birthday is Halloween. And then Marcy gives us an adult joke. She says, "Yeah, I'm 18, old enough to legally." And she pauses and looks directly at Fred before she says, "Vote." It's not what you meant, girl. We all know that's not what you meant.
I knew about this scene, but I didn't know it was from this episode. Like, this has been a scene people make jokes about online a lot.
Yeah.
And so I knew about it, but I didn't know it was this episode. And then she said it, I was like, oh my god! I found it in the wild.
Not really the wild, but sure.
It's the wild.
At this point, Daphne pounces. She does not give anyone time to react, and she asks Marcy where she had been this morning. She is looking for an alibi from Marcy, and Marcy has a pretty airtight alibi because she was at work at the mall, and half a dozen people saw her, and she's on security camera. We now cut to that evening. The whole gang is in the cornfield hunting for the culprit. Shaggy is very upset because he's missing Trick or Treat. Scooby does manage to play a prank on the gang by dressing up as a boo ghost and scaring them. It's kind of adorable. But it is at this point when something strange happens. That being the creepy scarecrow comes to life, hops down from its perch, and advances on the gang with a pitchfork arm. It's gonna murder them. And this isn't the only scarecrow that's alive. All the scarecrows are alive, and they all have deadly weapons. One of them has a buzzsaw for an arm.
That's super cool, though. Imagine that. That'd be fun.
Yeah, but the gang's like, we're about to get murdered. So they obviously run away. They run to the nearby barn, but it's locked. Scooby, he's thinking fast here, and he saves the gang by hosing the scarecrows down. He hits two of them with water from the hose, and it turns out these scarecrows are robots. There are 3 more robo scarecrows approaching the gang, and Scooby is ready to destroy them as well, but those 3 retreat back into the cornfield. And Fred has a plan. He's gonna have Shaggy and Scooby dress up in the scarecrow outfits and follow the other 3. The rest of the mystery gang will follow in the mystery machine while they track the robots' signal on their shortwave radio. Turns out the scarecrow robots are going to the town hall, which is where the Halloween party is being held.
Because there's no party like a party held at a town hall. So
No. The robots, plus Shaggy and Scooby, they enter the party, where we have a halfway decent joke. A man in a lion costume comes up to Shaggy and Scooby and says, "Carl, you were supposed to meet us at the snack table." We then see that the man in the lion costume has 2 friends, one being Dorothy, one being the Tin Man. And Lion then says, "Sometimes it's like you don't even have a brain." I don't know, it got a chuckle out of me. They took time to animate that. It's now time for Kiss to perform. And all the budget for this episode went to Kiss.
yeah, what was Kiss here for? Why were they involved?
Why not? I mean, they do have a full movie with Scooby-Doo in the future.
Yeah, they have a movie later on, but like this is just like very weird.
In the middle of the song, Hank Banning's ghost appears. Kiss just keeps playing through the chaos because they're going to do what they always do. Keep playing until the cops come. So during this time, the robot scarecrows begin blocking all the exits. You could not convince me that they're not going to murder everyone in this town hall. Shaggy and Scooby do manage to fry one of the robots using the punch bowl. We also get to see Shaggy as the reluctant werewolf again, because in another gag, we have werewolf Shaggy and 2 robots have their picture taken together. And Scooby manages to somehow blind the robots with the camera flash. Finally, Scooby manages to push one of the robots into the bobbing for apples barrel, while Daphne traps and crushes the other one in a coffin decoration. So all the robots are gone now, and it's revealed that the ghost is actually just a projection. Fred and Daphne figure that whoever is behind this mystery must be in the projection booth, but there's no one there. And Daphne poses the question, who would go through this length just to upstage Halloween? Which gives Velma the light bulb moment. She's cracked the case. And she takes the whole town out to the abandoned water tower from earlier to reveal the villain. It's that bitch, Marcy. She is so upset that her birthday has been forgotten about for the past 18 years. She claims that she only wanted to scare everyone so her birthday wouldn't be second fiddle to Halloween anymore. You cannot convince me that that is true. She did not want to just scare the town. Those robots had knives and saw blades. They were going to murder the town. She was going to have the whole town murdered by her scarecrow robots. But Marcy is a pretty blonde white woman, so she has a lot of white privilege, and the sheriff is going to let her off easy by just doing community service since, and I quote, no one got hurt.
This pisses me off so bad.
Those robots were going to murder people. And the next time someone wants to tell me white privilege doesn't exist, I think I'm just going to show them a Scooby-Doo Halloween.
Yeah.
Kiss has also followed the whole town to the cornfield, which, you know what? After seeing the murder robots, I probably would too. So the four of them walk over to the cop car to show and tell Marcy just how disappointed they are in her.
Yeah, Kiss giving some life advice to Marcy.
It was pretty good.
Grow up,
Paul
grow up,
Stanley.
Marcy.
Paul Stanley tells Marcy that he learned a lesson today and he hopes that she has too.
What was the lesson that he learned?
I want to know. And he then, right after, does scream out, who do I talk to about getting paid? This episode is wild. The last thing Marcy says is to Fred. She gives him a wink and tells him she'll be out in 300 hours.
So you're not going to jail.
Gross.
You can have a boyfriend in jail. But also, like, she's not going to jail.
Yeah, she's not.
It's fine.
Shaggy and Scooby realize that it's still Halloween night and they can go trick-or-treating. They rush off screen only to return a moment later dressed up as each other, and it's honestly adorable.
It is really cute.
The next day, the gang is leaving Banning Junction. Daphne gets to laugh at Marcy, who is picking trash up off the side of the road. Velma laughs about the town's urban legend of a man returning from the dead to seek revenge. And we see Mr. Noodles one last time. He's hanging out on the town's now leaving sign, and we get to see his eyes glow red, and then he disappears like the Cheshire Cat.
Because
Judy
he's the
watches
evil
this.
ghost.
I guess that's what it's implying, yeah. And Scooby watches him, Mr. Noodles, disappear and ends the episode with the famous line of Scooby-Dooby-Doo.
And we all know he's an evil ghost. How do we know he's an evil ghost? Because he stole a caramel apple.
Yeah.
And only
Agree.
truly evil people do that.
Agree. All right. Well,
That's
that's
the-
Scooby-Doo.
that's the
Scooby-Doo.
end.
What's new, Scooby-Doo?
What's new, Scooby-Doo? We did it. We got to what's new, Scooby-Doo. Where are we gonna put this on our ranking? How are we feeling about what's new, Scooby-Doo?
It has been so long since we ranked a TV show. I don't remember our ranking.
Number 1 is a pup named Scooby-Doo. I'm pretty sure. It's loading right now, but I'm like 100% sure it's a pup named Scooby-Doo.
Okay.
Yeah, and then number 2 is Scooby-Doo. Where are you? Do we think it's better than Scooby-Doo? Where are you?
This might be the nostalgia talking, but I gotta put it at number 1.
Number 1.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Wow, Amanda, I'm shocked. I also would have put it at number 1, but Amanda, I thought you were gonna fight for a pup named Scooby-Doo.
I love a pup named Scooby-Doo. I truly do, but there's just something about like this show.
It's so good. It's so good. It's amazing. I agree. It's great. I love it.
All right.
So what's new Scooby-Doo is the number 1 Scooby-Doo show. Next month, when we come back to Scooby-Doo, we're back to a movie immediately.
It's gonna
It's
be movies for a
2003.
while.
Yeah. We'll have some shows interspersed in there. It's 2003, and they're going to start their campaign of, well, at first it's like 2 movies a year, and then they go to yearly movies. We're doing Scooby-Doo and the Legend of the Vampire.
Such a
We get
good
the
one.
return of the Hex Girls.
They do whitewash one of the Hex Girls, though.
Yeah, they do, but we'll talk about that in a month. Next week, Hannah, you're in charge. What are you doing with us?
For my Halloween episode, I think it's only fitting that we play some Haunter Hoax.
Are you gonna tell us what the Haunter Hoax is, or are we just learning that it's Haunter Hoax?
I was just gonna tell you it's Haunter Hoax. I like
Okay.
keeping them secret. I can tell you it is not a case involving the Warrens, nor is Zach Bagels involved.
No, Zach's always
that-
involved.
This makes me sad.
I'll find a way to bring Zach Bagels up. He'll always be involved in
It
my
will
heart.
always be there.
All right. Well, that is it for this week. Let's wrap up unless anyone else has anything they'd like to add.
I have nothing.
All right. Well, then, as a recording, we are on YouTube and Spotify. If you're listening to us on YouTube, remember to like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell for notification when each and every episode gets uploaded. If you are listening to us on Spotify, remember to follow the show, leave a rating and a review, and answer the episode question: is What's New Scooby-Doo the best Scooby-Doo TV show? If you are, or no matter where you're listening to the show, remember to share it with someone you think might enjoy what we're doing over here. If you would like to send us an email where you can suggest episodes for the show, you can give us your comments, you can ask us questions that we would like to answer. You can do that by sending us an email to
Nothing to see here podcast at gmail.com. As always, here is spelled HEAR.
if you would like to see some great artwork done by Amanda, some funny memes done by Hannah, images of things that we talk about in the episode, and so much more. You can find all of that over on our Instagram page, which is
Nothing to see here pod.
that's all of the business taken care of. So goodbye and good night. It's Frankie.
It's Hannah.
I'm going to bed.
All right. Bye, everyone.
Bye.